Have you ever experienced problems like these? Playing games all day long without getting tired of it. The phone is always buzzing with notifications, scrolling late into the night. Staying up all night, sleepless and exhausted, eyes ringed with dark circles.
La 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 la.
The mind keeps forgetting things, unable to focus on anything.
Hey monkey, why do you look like your brain is rotting?
What? Brain rot? Does that mean I'm about to die?
You're not dying. But every day, every hour, your focus is eaten away. Your memory fades, and in the end, you'll lose control over yourself. Hi guys, I'm Owl, and I enjoy digging into, analyzing, and explaining the hidden mysteries in our daily lives that most people overlook.
And I'm Monkey. I'm the expert at asking tricky questions that force Owl to explain everything clearly and in detail. Welcome to Owl and Monkey's class. Here we unpack the little things that secretly shape our lives in big ways. Today's topic is both hilarious and terrifying: brain rot. You might even be dealing with it right now, without knowing.
Many of you have probably heard the phrase, brain rot. At first, around 2021, it was just an online joke used to describe young people addicted to short videos. But later, scientists began to study it seriously and confirmed this phenomenon is real, and it directly affects the brain. To make it easier to picture, let me share a few familiar habits. See if you recognize yourself in them. In the morning, right after opening your eyes, the very first thing you do is reach for your phone. During the day, you set all kinds of plans. Finish a chapter of study, complete some unfinished tasks, grab coffee with a friend in the afternoon, and exercise in the evening to stay healthy. But then, the moment you pick up your phone, all those plans disappear. You mean to turn on your computer to work, but your hands swipe over to TikTok. You plan to meet your friend, but end up glued to the screen until evening. You plan to head to the stadium, but instead think, just a few more clips before I go. In the end, the whole day slips by, the plans remain undone, and only your phone stays by your side. At night, you promise yourself to sleep early, but then think, just a few more videos. And by the time you look at the clock, it's already 1 or 2 a.m. And most importantly, patience keeps fading. Reading just a few pages of a book feels boring. Studying for 15 minutes makes you want to quit. And any long-term task quickly wears you down. If all this sounds familiar, then these are the basic symptoms of brain rot.
Hold on. Do you actually have scientific proof? Or are you just inventing stuff?
Oh, you doubt me? Fine. If you want scientific proof, keep your eyes wide open and watch. First, in 2025, at St. Joseph's University in India, scientists surveyed more than 200 students. The results showed, for every extra hour spent on the phone, the brain's reaction speed dropped by an average of 8.32 milliseconds. The number may sound small, but the brain processes millions of signals every second. Just being a beat slower, accumulated over the years, makes the brain run sluggishly, like a frozen computer, spinning endlessly whenever you try to open something. Second, also in 2025, Professor Chang Wang at Binzhou University in China used fMRI scans to study the brains of people who frequently watch short videos. What shocked many was this: their brain activity looked strikingly similar to that of alcohol addicts, especially in the regions that control memory and behavior. In other words, every time we mindlessly scroll through our phones, we are training our brains to react like addicts, gradually losing self-control. Third, at Swinburne University in Australia, Dr. Alexandra Gaillard demonstrated that just 3 minutes of scrolling social media significantly reduced activity in the prefrontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for focus and deep thinking. Meanwhile, in the same 3 minutes, playing video games still kept the brain more active. That means mindless scrolling can knock out the brain even faster than gaming.
So, besides phones and electronic devices being high risk factors for brain rot, are there any other causes?
Brain rot has many causes, but scientists point to 5 major ones. I'll show you concrete research so you can see them for yourself. In 2015, Professor Gloria Mark at the University of California, Irvine conducted research on workplace interruptions. She discovered that every time a person is disrupted by a notification, it takes an average of 23 minutes and 15 seconds to regain their original focus. If in a single day you're interrupted 20 times, your brain will waste nearly 8 hours just to warm back up, not to mention the mental energy being drained. This explains why the more notifications you get, the more easily your brain slips into stress and exhaustion. A 2023 study by the University of Hamburg, Germany, surveyed more than 1,500 TikTok users. The results showed that they spent an average of 95 minutes per day on the platform. Those who used it the most reported being 2.7 times more distracted compared to the light users. The scientists concluded that the infinite feed mechanism works just like a slot machine, causing the brain to release dopamine in a random pattern. The more you scroll, the more your brain expects the next one will be more exciting. And that's the trap that drives unconscious addiction. In 2019, Dr. Charles Czeisler and his team at Harvard Medical School demonstrated that blue light from screens can suppress melatonin by up to 80%, delaying sleep by 1 to 2 hours. A Deloitte UK survey in 2022 also revealed that 55% of Britons pick up their phones within 15 minutes of waking up. The consequences? Disrupted sleep, hormonal imbalance, and increased health risks. 23% higher risk of obesity, 17% higher risk of type 2 diabetes, and 11% higher risk of cardiovascular disease. In 2020, the University of Chicago published a study on the behavior of avoiding difficult tasks. When participants were assigned a stressful task, 67% chose to take a break by opening their phones. Each time they did so, the brain released dopamine, creating an instant feeling of comfort. But in the long run, the prefrontal cortex, the region that controls self-regulation, showed a significant decrease in activity. The result? Patience declined, and the dropout rate of tasks increased by up to 42% compared to the group that didn't use their phones to avoid challenges. A 2019 report by the US CDC, which tracked more than 400,000 people, showed that prolonged sleep deprivation reduces cognitive ability by an average of 32%, increases the risk of depression by 40%, and weakens the immune system. Meanwhile, a 2018 study from the University of British Columbia, Canada, found that just 20 minutes of brisk walking was enough to immediately boost levels of BDNF, a key protein that protects and nourishes neurons. People who exercise regularly have 31% better focus compared to those who are less active.
Owl, you're freaking me out here. If the brain already has brain rot, is there any cure? Or at least a way to lessen the damage? Don't tell me we're doomed.
Relax. It's not the end of the world. Brain rot isn't a death sentence. It's like a muscle. Slack off and it weakens. Train it and it gets stronger. Scientists have proven 4 sets of solutions that anyone can follow. The first step is to clean up your surroundings. Turn off almost all notifications, keeping only the ones that truly matter. When you need to focus, put your phone in a drawer or leave it in another room. Research by Adrian Ward at the University of Texas, 2017, showed that simply having a phone present on the desk, even without touching it, already reduces your ability to concentrate significantly. In other words, if you want your brain to focus, keep your phone out of sight. The second step is to build new habits. Right after waking up, spend at least 60 minutes screen-free so your brain can start up naturally. Choose 3 no-phone zones: the bedroom, the dining table, and the work desk. And if your hands itch to open an app, set a rule. Read 3 pages of a book, take a 5-minute walk, or do 10 push-ups first. It may sound small, but it makes a big difference. A 2018 study showed that when participants reduced social media use to just 30 minutes a day, their levels of loneliness and depression dropped significantly. The third step is to train your focus. Apply the Pomodoro 50-10 technique. 50 minutes of working on a single task, followed by 10 minutes of screen-free rest. Before you start, spend 30 seconds writing down your goal. When you feel the urge to scroll, allow yourself exactly 5 minutes, with a timer set. and then return to work. If possible, add 10 minutes of meditation or breathing exercises each day. A 2015 study from the University of Massachusetts found that after just 2 weeks of mindfulness practice, both working memory and concentration improved significantly. Finally, if you want a healthy brain, the biological foundation must be solid. Get 7 to 9 hours of sleep, and absolutely avoid using your phone in bed. Exercise at least 20 minutes a day. Even brisk walking is enough. A 2018 study from the University of British Columbia proved that just 20 minutes of light activity is enough to immediately boost BDNF, a protein that nourishes neurons. Adequate sleep also helps the brain clean out waste every night, keeping it clear and sharp. Brain rot is no joke, but it can be reversed if we learn to manage our habits and take control of our phones. Used wisely, phones and electronic devices are powerful tools, but when overused, they can seriously harm our brains.
If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell so we'll be motivated to make more. Goodbye, and see you in the next videos.